When you're working, taxes mostly happen in the background. Your employer withholds money, payroll handles the timing, and forms show up when they're supposed to. And even if you don't love taxes, the system is doing a lot of the work for you. But then you retire, and overnight that autopilot disappears. Now your income may come from Social Security, IRA withdrawals, pension income, brokerage income, or even rental income. And suddenly, you're the one who's responsible for coordinating all of it. Retirement doesn't just change how you live, it changes what the IRS is going to expect from you and expect from you immediately. And a lot of people miss that. Welcome to the UnRetired, where you're not done, but you're finally doing what you want. If you enjoy practical, real-world ideas about retirement planning, retirement taxes, Social Security, and building a better life after work, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That's how we build a community. And remember, a quick disclaimer here, this video is for education and general information only. It's not financial advice. And always remember, everybody's situation is totally different. So make sure you run your own numbers, and if you can, please consult with a qualified financial planner. All right, today I want to walk you through the retirement tax checklist that nobody hands you on the last day of work. Wouldn't that be great if somebody just said, here, you gotta do this. Nobody does. So you gotta know this. Not because retirement is suddenly dangerous, and not because the IRS is lurking behind a bush waiting to just pounce on you. It's because once the paycheck stops, there's a bunch of tax and paperwork responsibilities that quietly become your job, my job, your job. And the sooner you handle them, the fewer expensive surprises that you're gonna have or suffer. The first thing the IRS expects you to do is make sure enough tax is being paid during the year. When you were working, withholding happened automatically every couple of weeks or twice a month, whatever your payroll cycle was. In retirement, that may no longer be true. Social Security withholding is optional. IRA withholding may be too low. Dividends, interest, rental income may have no withholding at all. And that's why estimated tax payments become one of the biggest retirement surprises. A lot of retirees do not actually have a tax problem. They have a timing problem. The IRS does not care that you just retired. It still expects their money or your money that you owe them to show up on time. And that leads directly to the second thing, and that's understanding that Social Security can be taxable and that taxes are usually not withheld unless you ask for it to be withheld. A lot of people just assume that Social Security is tax-free. Got news for you, it's not. And then April arrives and they discover, nope, indeed, it's not tax-free. The issue is not just the Social Security check itself, it's the broader income picture. If you're receiving benefits, drawing from an IRA, and also earning some investment income, you may end up with a tax bill you never expected unless you plan for it. And this is where the third item comes in, because it's one of the least understood rules in retirement, and that's called provisional income. Most retirees never have heard the term, but it determines how much of their Social Security becomes taxable. Social Security taxation is not just about your Social Security check, it's also about what else you layer on top of it. So if you add IRA withdrawals, pension income, or even tax-exempt interest, you may push more of your benefits into the taxable zone. The thresholds were set literally decades ago, and they were never meaningfully adjusted for inflation. So more retirees get caught off guard every year. And that's why one extra dollar of income in retirement can sometimes create a much bigger tax effect than people realize. The fourth thing the IRS effectively expects you to do is stop assuming that last year's return is still the right template. Retirement changes income structure, which means deductions may need a fresh look too. Maybe the standard deductions still make sense. Maybe itemizing now makes better sense. Maybe senior-specific deductions or age-based tax benefits suddenly more relevant than they used to be. The point is this, it's pretty simple. Do not file on autopilot just because you've always filed the same way. It changes when you retire. Retirement is when passive tax habits start costing you real money. The fifth item is understanding when required minimum distributions begin and how they work. If you have a traditional IRA or many pre-tax 401ks, eventually the IRS requires you to start pulling money out of those tax-deferred accounts. And that's where many people learn the rules way too late. They think that RMDs are just another withdrawal, and I can assure you they are not. RMDs are a tax planning event. Missing one can create penalties. Delaying the first one can create 2 taxable distributions in 1 year, and those extra withdrawals can spill into other areas like Medicare premiums, Social Security taxation. If you want more information on RMDs, I've got a video for that too, but let's get to the 6th thing. And the 6th thing is especially important if you are charitably inclined. This is called qualified charitable distributions, or QCDs. If you're already giving to a charity, this can be one of the smartest tax moves in retirement. And here's how it works. Instead of taking an RMD into income and then writing a check to a charity, a QCD can allow money to go directly from your IRA to a qualified charity. And that can satisfy part of or all your RMD requirement and keep that amount out of your taxable income. And for the charity, it's even better because they get the full amount versus an after-tax amount that you give. If you're already giving anyway, this is one of the cleanest tax moves in retirement. The 7th thing the IRS indirectly expects you to think through is whether your gap years create a Roth conversion opportunity. And these are the years after retirement, but before RMDs begin, and in some cases before Social Security starts as well. For many retirees, these are the lowest tax years they will ever have again. And you got to think about that for a second. You're thinking that the older you get, the less taxes you have. But when you've got tax deferred accounts and you actually have to start taking RMDs, you actually could end up with more income in those later years than, let's say, if you retire at 63 and you don't have RMDs till 73. It's an interesting little window. And that doesn't mean everybody should rush out and do a Roth conversion, but it certainly means that the window is real. And most people never actually evaluate it carefully enough. If you ignore that period of time, that rare period between retirement and RMDs, you may miss one of the best chances you will ever have to reduce your future RMD pressure and create more tax flexibility later. All right, at this point, I gotta ask you, which of these tax issues surprised you the most? Estimated tax payments, Social Security taxation, RMDs, or Medicare IRMA? Let me know in the comments. I read every one, and your perspective may help somebody else who's trying to make the same evaluation and decision as you. And that brings us to the 8th thing, which is watching out for IRMA, which is one of the nastiest retirement surprises because it doesn't feel like a tax, but it sure acts like one. In retirement, your tax return can affect your Medicare bill. A one-time income spike from an IRA withdrawal or a Roth conversion or a capital gain can raise your Medicare premiums later. And that means a tax decision can also become a healthcare cost decision. A lot of people do not see that connection until after the damage is done. The 9th item is less exciting, but also incredibly important. Keep your address current. Open every IRS or Social Security letter and respect the deadlines that they come with. Retirement often comes with relocation, snowbird living, second homes, or at least more moving parts in your mail flow. Some retirement tax mistakes have nothing to do with strategy. They come from simple, stupid administrative paperwork and delays. A missed notice can mean missed appeal rights, missed corrections, or missed opportunities to fix a problem early when you have all the opportunity to do so. And this is one of those boring little habits that can just save you a shocking amount of frustration and aggravation. So please make sure you keep your address with the government, IRS, Social Security Administration, up to date. And now the last one, the 10th thing the IRS expects you to do is understand that retirement requires active tax management, not passive tax reporting. This is a bigger theme that ties the whole list of all these other 9 items together. Retirement is the moment when tax management becomes active rather than passive. While you were working, remember, the system withheld, reported, nudged you when it was supposed to. In retirement, the burden is almost entirely on you. You're now coordinating the withholding, the the estimated payments, the Social Security taxation, the deductions, the RMD timing, the QCDs, Roth conversion windows, IRMA, and basic administrative hygiene like your address. And that really is the central message here. The IRS doesn't give retirees a checklist, but retirement absolutely requires a checklist. The people who do it the best are not necessarily the people with the biggest nest egg. They're often the people who just understand how retirement income gets taxed. They know that not all income is taxed and treated in the same way. They know that when money arrives, it matters. They know that one decision in one part of their whole plan can affect the taxes, your Medicare, and Social Security somewhere else. And this is why I keep coming back to coordination. The smartest retirees are not just asking, how much money do I have, or focusing on the number. Rather, they're asking, where is the income coming from? How is it taxed? What should be withheld? When is it coming? What should be delayed? What should be converted? And what should be donated? And lastly, what should be watched? And when you think like that, it's a very different mindset. And once you adopt it, retirement gets less confusing and a lot more manageable. And this really matters for brand new retirees, for people who are about to retire, and frankly, for anybody in their 50s or early 60s who's thinking about the tax side and how it's going to sort itself out later. I can tell you, it usually does not unless you actually think ahead of time. Most expensive retirement mistakes are not dramatic. They're usually small, boring, preventable errors that compound because nobody explained the system that happens the moment you retire and work stops. If you want more practical help with retirement taxes, Social Security, Roth conversions, withdrawal strategy, and how to build a more tax-efficient retirement, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future weekly episodes. Okay, here's the bottom line. Retirement gives you more control, but with more control comes more responsibility. The good news is that most of these mistakes are totally preventable if you know what to pay attention to and pay attention early enough. You don't need to become a tax expert. You do not need to obsess over every line of the tax code, but you do need to have a basic understanding that retirement is not just about having enough money. It's about knowing how to manage the money once your work stops. And that's the shift. That's the checklist. And that's why people who approach retirement with a little bit more awareness and a little bit more coordination usually keep more of what they work so hard to build, which basically feels like more wealthy.